On this week's episode, we get into the NHL and NBA playoffs. We talk the PGA Championship, and lo and behold, we get a Blue Jays update. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 18, season 2 of Points and Penalties. For all our listeners, we'd like to remind you to please subscribe wherever you get your podcast. For our viewers on YouTube, be sure to subscribe by clicking the little PMP button in the bottom right-hand corner of this video. It's right here. You know it. You know it. No matter how you check out PMP, please give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. My name is Josh. You all know me. With me are my co-hosts, Kevin, Jesse, and Peter. Kev, I'd love to start with you. You know I do. What are you drinking tonight?
Well, I got this one only because the way it looks. Love it. Like it.
Scare me.
It is a Collective Arts. It's Jam Up the Mash. It is a 5.2%.
Oh.
It is a dry hopped sour. Let's try that. We don't know how that went today, but let's just give it a go.
Kev
one
had
more
a sour
time.
beer today, and he was not a huge fan.
That's tangy.
His eyes start
Not a
squinting.
huge fan again.
Well, I'm sure it's going to go down easier as the pod goes on, but it's drinkable. Pedro, what are you drinking, sir?
Well, Kev, I can't believe you're not going to be the bitch at 5.2.
Oh wow!
But I
wow.
also went with the sour. It's a Blood Moon from Whitewater Brewing Company. It is a blood orange sour, and it is at a meager 4.8%.
Ooh.
But you know, boys,
Kev, you're so excited! Yeah.
I'm trying to lean more into beers we haven't had before, more than just shopping for alcohol content.
That's what the bitch says.
That's fair.
Hey, that's the truth. That's the truth. So. Oh, yeah. See, I don't mind a sour. And that's definitely a sour. Nice orange taste to it. Strong taste. Definitely a sour. Not bad. See how she goes as the show goes on. Jesse, tell me you have a 4.6 or something.
No, not a chance. I don't walk in here with that. But I do have a Collective Arts, just like Kev.
Oh shit!
It is called Good Monster. And it is a New England double IPA, so it's a potent one at 8%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not even double.
That's not even double. It's almost double yours.
Yeah, but it's not.
Show us the can, Jess. I think I might have had that like 2 weeks ago.
So the second can is different as well.
Yeah,
So this one, I don't know what that is.
it's like a bird kind of
Yeah.
unicorn.
The other one has an octopus on it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's Collective Arts, so they make a bunch of different.
Look at that, 50% exposure on Points and Penalties.
Yeah,
Wow.
they make good beers.
And they're not
Yeah.
even sponsoring us.
No. Hint, hint.
Lucky guys.
We'll be making some phone calls after this.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Josh, can you beat an 8%?
I cannot. I
Ooh.
saved the 8+ for another time. I do have one in the fridge. I went with a great old-fashioned solid craft beer in the unfiltered IPA sector. It's an Amsterdam Brewing Bone Shaker. Everybody
Oh, the
knows
Bone
this
Shaker.
bad boy.
We've had
This
that before.
is a hell of a
multiple
good
times.
beer. Everybody likes this one. 7.1%. And hey, man, it's a solid staple. You can't go wrong with this bad boy. So, taste here. We all know it's going to be hella tasty.
When we went to the Jays game, they had those there, and me and Pete were drinking them. We had made Ryan try it, and he was like, "This is nasty."
Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, he drinks Bud Light. No,
Yeah.
no, he drinks Coors Original, which is awesome beer, but
He couldn't
yeah,
handle the potent one, that's for sure.
for sure. Well, there's been some potent teams in the NHL as of late, popping a bunch of goals in. Why don't you give us a little rundown there, Pete?
No problem. So second round is just about done. And after 5 game sevens in round 1, there's only going to be one 7-game series in round 2.
Oh,
Carolina versus New York goes tomorrow night for the opportunity, the chance to play the Tampa Bay Lightning for the conference championship. Tampa is ready and rested after sweeping the President's Trophy winning Panthers, all without one of their best players in Braden Point. Florida simply wasn't able to get their league's best offense going against Vasilevsky. They sputtered big time as they got swept.
So they still haven't won a second round game yet in 27 years.
Correct. Ah,
But they made it. To
yes,
the
they
second
made
round.
it. Unlike the Leafs, Leafs fans everywhere loving watching this team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They barely lost to, easily handling the league's best regular season team. And we'll see how far they go. So will either the Rangers or maybe. Will either the Rangers or Hurricanes, whoever makes it to play the Lightning, really challenge them for the conference finals, do you think? Or are the Lightning going to scroll through that round and having faced their toughest test in the first round?
I mean,
Well,
they're
first
not
off,
stroll,
Yeah.
but they'll definitely be there in the finals.
is Braden Point coming back, or is he done for the season?
I don't know if we know yet.
Some insider you are.
No, not a very good one.
They did it without him already once, so they're able to do it.
He just
I
needs to
like
be
it.
there for the finals.
I don't see them. It's not easy. I'll give this one in 6.
I'll agree with that.
I think the Hurricanes are going to win, and I think the Hurricanes are going to be the only one that could give these guys a run for their money. I think if the Rangers make it through by chance here, that Tampa will probably walk all over them. I think the more defensive style of Carolina will be better for them throughout this series if it happens. But it's definitely going to be tough because Tampa is a solid team. And, Jess, I think wasn't last week, but last episode, you had said that you're not down for this "we got beat by the champs" thing, but I am. So
That's what losers say.
Anyway, we've been saying it for a lot of years. So.
A lot of years. A lot. Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. They probably won't sweep again, but they'll probably. I doubt they'll go to 7 games with either the Rangers or the Hurricanes, and I think Tampa makes it through to the finals.
Finally jumping on board. Way to go, guys. A little late, but okay.
I mean, to be fair, I think everyone else had them beating Florida, and I just picked Florida to be different. But
Now, if the Kings do go through, again, I'll have to ask, if Freddie is good to go, do you play him or do you still stay with Rada?
I mean, when was the last time Freddie played?
Like regular season.
Yeah.
I think.
So this guy's gotten you there. He's done well for you. You got to roll them, in my opinion, until he fucks up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Play him until he fucks up, and then you got Freddie. Maybe he's already ready. Who knows?
Well, when they pulled Rada the last game, obviously Freddie wasn't on the bench, so they had to put in wherever the hell their backup was or third string.
Yeah.
Is that the Zamboni driver? Is he still a third string guy?
He was a Leafs employee, not a Canes employee.
What was his name? Cam Akers? Is that
David Akers?
David Akers?
No, David Ayers.
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 Oh yeah, Cam Akers is a football player.
Yeah, I knew who he was.
Phew, good thing we didn't let Jesse talk, or I would have got challenged.
Mamma mia. So we'll see what happens there. In the East, in the West, we talked about whether or not St. Louis would be able to challenge the Colorado Avalanche. And they were able to, somewhat, pushing the series to 6 games. But after their starting goalie, who was obviously Binnington.
Obviously. Obviously.
He was injured in a collision with Nazem Kadri. They didn't have enough after that to hang on and be able to win the series. So after the game with the Kadri-Binnington collision, Kadri was getting interviewed, and you see him look over to the side, and kind of look up, sort of puzzled.
WTF?
Because apparently, Binnington, after the game, threw a water bottle at him while he was doing that interview. And then, so after that, Kadri's wife, I think the next day, shared some social media messages directed to Kadri, where he was the subject of racist attacks and death threats from Blues fans. Now, this obviously doesn't represent the whole of Blues fans, but there are clearly some bad apples out there, and those people need to be better. And even just for their own sake, even if they're thinking those things, they shouldn't post them. Because apparently Kadri took that and used it as fuel.
Motivation for show.
The very next game, he put up a hat trick and 4 points as the Avalanche won. And then it was nice to see when game 5, when they went back to Colorado, the Colorado fans standing in support with Kadri with signs and slogans, showing their support for him. So that was good to see. So then, in game 6, in the dying seconds, about to go to overtime, tie game, Darren Helm scores to send the Avs to the conference finals. Now that series clincher, ironically, was scored exactly 13 years after Helm's last series clincher, where he scored in overtime to send the Red Wings to the Stanley Cup Finals back in 2009.
That's kind of crazy, man.
That is wild. I guess that's the kind of stats that can happen when you have teams that are playing past the first round.
Yeah. You know, talking about Kadri, like I remember last week one of you guys was saying, like, you know, Kadri's out there doing Kadri things. And to be quite honest, I hadn't seen the collision at that point. Again, you guys know that NHL and hockey is not my forte, so I don't pay that much attention to it. So I went back and I looked at it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, it wasn't even that bad. And then to get all these death threats and racial threats and stuff like that, it's crazy, man. Like, the guy's just playing hockey. Like,
there's a hockey play for sure. He said he was going for the puck, and the off left winger or right defenseman, or whatever defense, just hit him. I mean, he's the one who pushed him into the goalie.
Yeah.
Look, I understand he has a bad rap, and there have been some instances where he's made some questionable decisions on hits and of the like.
You mean like when he was with the Leafs against the Bruins, and then when he was with the Leafs against the Bruins again, and I think he did something against
So I'm looking
Capitals the year before.
He's not the star candidate. He's not the innocent boy. But in this case, to me, it really wasn't anything to warrant. Not that anything would warrant death threats and racial threats, but like Kevin said, this is a hockey play. This really wasn't. He didn't go over a two-hander across the fucking head. Let's put it that way. Right? He didn't cross-check a guy in the back of the head. I think like Matthews in the Heritage game when he cross-checked, what's his face there? Is it Rasmus Dahlin was his name?
Yeah.
Like, that's worse in my opinion than this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it was, and it was treated worse. Like
Matthews, right, but you didn't hear about the fans coming at Austin Matthews for doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's probably just after reputation then at this point.
Because fair enough.
A dirty player, right? So
fair enough.
Yeah. It's the result too, right? Like, it's your starting goalie, and he goes out because of the collision.
Mm.
That's a huge swing in a playoff series.
Oh yeah.
where Darlene was fine in the next regular season game. So
Yeah, fair enough.
and I agree with you, Josh. And Kev, I didn't see anything wrong with the play. It's just a collision. Not really anything he could have done to avoid it, other than not try and go to the net and score goals. But he's not going to do that because that's his job. So yeah, I didn't have anything wrong with it in my book, and it's just a shit happens kind of play. It's too bad that Binnington got hurt on it.
Actually, just before we move off that, I read a tweet thread, and it was a woman. So Kadri played OHL hockey here in Kitchener. He was a Ranger, but he was also he did some sort of thing with kids and whatnot when obviously as a Ranger or whatever. So I think it was in London this happened, and so a young girl was learning how to play hockey and learning how to skate, but she kept falling over. She really wanted to play, but she kept falling, couldn't get the skating down. And so it was a OHL player. So the Rangers meet the kids type event. And so the mother took her child over to Kadri saying, that she always falls and blah, blah, blah. And that she's getting discouraged because she's always falling. And Kadri, got down to her level and, totally just talked to her and said, hey, I used to fall all the time. Get back up and try again. And so the mother, in support of Kadri through all this, and that's where the story came back to light. But it seems like this kid, like he has a good heart. He just makes some bad decisions sometimes. And that's where Kev, like you said, his, oh shit, I can't think of the word here, brain fart, but
Reputation.
his reputation. Thank you, Peter. And that's where it comes from, right? Because he has made some bad decisions, but I think at the grand scheme of things, he really is trying to be and is a good person, a good player. So
I remember him in our, he was in my gym class at Eastwood, and he was actually one of the nicer Rangers. Like he was a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
And it was weird seeing him when I didn't follow the Kitchener Rangers a whole lot then, but even when he went to London, I didn't follow him either. But when he was on the Leafs, like it was weird that he had that reputation as this dirty player or this agitator or whatever. Because to me, he wasn't like that.
Look at that, eh? Small world.
Yeah.
So Pete, you obviously went to school with them too, then?
I don't remember that, but apparently.
I'm pretty sure you guys did because I remember talking about it back in the day. So
yeah, he was in my gym class. That was the only class I had with him.
Well, clearly you didn't play fucking hockey with him, Jess.
We whenever they were there, we never played any floor hockey.
Floor hockey.
Yeah, he would be.
He would have cleaned up in floor hockey, man.
Yeah.
So we obviously none of the Rangers were on our high school hockey team.
I'm gonna say they couldn't.
They couldn't, but so two of them, and I don't remember who they were. Maybe one was Kadri. Who knows? I don't think so. But two of them came to one of our practices once, and they just fucking ran show on us. Like it's a whole different.
Yeah.
Like we're not even playing the same sport.
Yeah. For sure.
And like we weren't good, but we weren't like
horrible.
I mean, you went to a drama school. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's an art school. We were a bad team.
That's why they stuck the Rangers there.
We were a bad team in the group of high schools, but it's still like you're still a high school hockey team. You're not a bad team. But yeah, these guys when they showed up for a practice, even the checks they would lay on you just in practice, she was like, "Oh my god." Like they just squeeze you off on the boards. It's like, holy, what just happened? Anyway, that was a fun sidebar. So back to the West. So McKinnon and the Avs, after Helm's overtime winner, will face McDavid and the Oilers in the Battle of the Max for the Western Conference crown. So that's after the Oilers handily took care of the Flames in the Battle of Alberta. So this is the first Battle of Alberta in 31 years, and it started with a bang in a 15-goal barn burner that saw the Flames end up on top 9-6 after blowing a 4-goal lead at one point in the game.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. I was like, we woke up in the morning. I see it was like 4-1. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Do my thing, get ready for work, turn on the TV. 6-6.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, Kev, it's probably worked well for you actually. Like it was hard for a lot of the rest of us to watch the
Yeah,
series
for
because
sure.
it's on so late. But Kev keeps strange hours.
Sorry.
That's okay. So the Flames wouldn't win another game after that, as McDavid and Draisaitl just decided they just weren't going to lose anymore. And the Flames had no answer. So Draisaitl had 17 points during this series in only 5 games, which is a record for a 5-game series, and the third most points in any playoff series in NHL history. And it was in only 5 games.
What a superstar.
Yeah. And McDavid with 12 points in the series, nothing to shake a stick at either in only 5 games, including the overtime winner to clinch the series. And at times he looked completely unstoppable during this series. The Flames had absolutely no answer for McDavid at points. The one last anecdote about this series, in Game 5, the two teams set the record for the 4 fastest goals by both teams in a playoff game, scoring 4 goals in just 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Unfucking real.
So the Battle of Alberta didn't disappoint, although it ended a bit too quick, especially if you're a Flames fan. It would have been a lot of fun to see that go to 6 or 7 games. But the Oilers weren't going to let that happen.
They had other plans for sure.
So we got the Battle of the Max. Who do you guys think ends up on top here? 2 powerhouse teams in the West, powerhouse offenses. Who's going to come out on top here?
McKinnon. I mean, I
You're
just
drunk.
think. Oh yeah, I am. But
I mean, I don't know if he is. I don't know if you guys saw McKinnon's hat-trick goal.
that was dirty.
I want to say it was Game 5, whatever.
It was
Some game.
It was a dirty goal.
It was unreal. And I don't think they even ended up winning that game. I think they lost.
Nope,
in
they lost in
overtime.
overtime.
Yeah. But yeah, that was crazy. And they've got Cale Makar. Edmonton does not. Edmonton's got Draisaitl. Colorado does not.
No.
It's gonna be a good series.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good series for sure. I think the way that McDavid has been playing, and then the X factor there with the Draisaitl and how he can score, I think that's going to be the extra there. Pete had said that McDavid seemed unstoppable at points against Calgary, and so I don't know what game it was, but I was watching part of it, and 5-on-5 hockey, and he comes in with the puck, he does a little circle, and he literally, it's like Timbit's fucking hockey. He has 5 guys.
He's
got 5 guys on him, and everybody else is wide open. He turns around and feeds it to Draisaitl, who easily scores.
This is like our practice when the Rangers showed up.
Yeah. Like it's insane. This man he's a very, very good hockey player, and he commands the respect from the other players that have to defend him, and everybody goes to help, and it leaves so many people wide open. And that's the biggest, he doesn't score as many goals as Austin Matthews, but it's the assists and the playmaking ability.
Speed. Speed, I think he's quick. The guy's fucking fast, man.
Yeah.
I mean, speed kills. I mean, especially in hockey. I mean, if you're on your heels in hockey, that's gone. You're done.
It's in a lot of sports speed skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But McDavid aside, I still think Colorado's the faster team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, McKinnon and I might have Colorado for my overall win here for their points and penalties hockey. So I'm got to stay with them. I'm not going to say McDavid's going to win. Hell's no. Colorado's going to roll over them. Like not quick, but 6th.
I think I have the Avalanche too, but I still want to see Edmonton beat them.
Is that because it's Canadian or?
Well, yeah, I got commanding lead in the points and penalties challenge, and then also because it's a Canadian team. And I've been harping with Draisaitl and McDavid all season, so why stop now?
Yep, that's fair, man. At least you stick to your guns.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think McDavid's going to continue to just be in God mode and just Andrew's out of really. They're going to be lights out. But Colorado has all sorts of offense too. I think at the end of the day, this series is going to come down to whose goaltender is worse.
Well,
Better.
that's the thing though.
Worse.
Smith's very, up and down, man.
He's hit and miss. Oh
You
yeah,
can score from your own blue line.
Yeah. To just fire it away.
yeah, that's right. That's right. In the Flame series, he allowed a goal from the opposing blue line that he did not see coming at all.
No.
But he has the ability to sometimes turn it on and shut it down too. But he's also 39, 40 years old now. So I think I'm going to lean with the Colorado Avalanche here. Only coming down to goaltending.
How should you pick? Oh, you picked Edmonton too?
Edmonton, yeah, man. I think McDavid's going to pull it out.
Well, Peter and Kev are wrong.
Yep. 100%.
What? No.
Well, if our previous picks are any indication, you guys are probably right.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are wrong.
Let's get into our bracket update here.
Which, by the way, I'm an idiot and still have not posted. So.
We all got every single series right so far, and it's completely tied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, one of us did actually get all of the first round correct. Jesse, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Go
I know
closet NHL fucking fan.
exactly. I know everything about NHL.
Yeah. So Jesse is sitting at 10 correct right now with 3 more possible, and he's got Tampa winning it all. So that's his obvious road to victory. The only one that can catch him is Josh with 8 correct and 2 possible.
Yeah.
One of them being Carolina winning, I think, and then I think the other might be Colorado going to the finals.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe not, something like that.
I think I have Colorado going to the finals too. Who do you have winning the finals, Josh?
The Leafs.
Oh, I had to leave, so my East is fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, I said my bracket was already busted. I mean, I had Calgary, Toronto.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry about your luck, boys.
So I'm sitting in third with
The
6
two
correct.
idiots about the NHL are
2
just-
points, 1 point. Fuck yeah.
Sitting 6 correct, no more possible is Pete, and Kev has 5 correct with 1 more possible. So Kev, to tie for third, I'm pretty sure you need Carolina to win tonight. Tomorrow night.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're bringing up the rear.
Oh, but if he does that, then we give out 2 zeros and not a minus, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah. But Josh, I'm pretty sure you need.
I need Carolina. Yeah. Let's go, Carolina.
Let's go, Carolina.
Jesse might have him too, so you might be hopeless anyway. I didn't look closely enough.
Yeah, I probably am. That's all right.
If they're posted,
Nobody
we'll probably
cares
take
about
a look.
hockey anyway.
Wow.
People skip through the hockey segment.
Well, so on that colorful note, the hockey segment's over. Let's get into golf.
Love you, Pete.
Thanks, Pedro. The PGA Championship was played. Now, the PGA Championship is an annual golf tournament.
What?
It's one of a 4.
Come on, it's not annual.
It's a major of these professionals for the golf. Now, it took 2 extra holes for a winner to be decided. Justin Thomas ended up winning this tournament. He ended up winning it over Will Zalatoris. Now, it was a decent. I mean, obviously, went 2 extra holes, so it was good golf.
Free golf, man. Overtime.
Why not? And then we had third place. You had Mito Perena. He ended up taking out in third. During this tournament, though, I was hoping for my favorite, Rory McIlroy. Was doing well at one point, and then next thing you know, he just faded away. He was at a -5, and then he went to an even, and he finished off with 8th with a -2. So that's my big, huge disappointment while watching this. Who would you guys have as your disappointment during this PGA Championship?
I mean, he was part of mine too, because me and Yosh went to another pool for PGA, and I picked JT and Roy. So that sucks because I would have done a lot better if he held them together. But JT brought it home for me.
So for me, I've got a few here. So number one, Scotty Scheffler for not making the cut as number one golfer in the world right now. That's a pretty big fucking disappointment. Another guy, the number two golfer in the world, John Rahm, shot a +6 for the tournament. Not too fucking good. And my last one is Tiger. And I don't know if this is such a disappointment as it's just me needing to let go. He like seriously, like I love Tiger. He's been phenomenal, but I don't know if he can compete anymore in 4-day tournaments. And there are no other tournaments. So like he just doesn't have it in the legs. Now it maybe it'll change, but he was bad again this tournament in the major. So, you know, I get you still need to play some rounds competitively when you're rehabbing in his case, but I think maybe they should not be at major courses. Like, let's get your feet under yourself here and maybe get some place 10th at a not so prestigious tournament, you know. I don't want to see him go. I don't want to see him fade away. And maybe that's just a selfish sports fan talking, but you know, he's been great for so many years. He is my Jack Nicklaus. He is my Arnold Palmer, right? Like, and he would be mostly not Cavs probably, but Pete and Jesse. Like, he's got to be yours, right? He's the best golfer of all time, right? Like, there's no question about it. And at least in my and probably your guys' opinions too. Like I said, Kev, because he has a little bit different view upon things, a little older, would think differently. But it's hard. Older. Yeah, well, it's just hard to let go of him being competitive, and I don't want to see it. But like Jess, when we go into the next major pool, I don't care where I can pick him. I'm not picking him.
I don't blame you guys, man.
I can't do it. I can't pick him.
And watch this. Watch when you don't pick him is when he does it.
Of course. And you know what? And if that means he's going to keep doing well, I will never pick him again. I'll never win. I won't win, but.
The other guy too that's in that range too was Ricky Fowler, and he had a pretty good game. And
that was going to be my surprise of the week was Ricky Fowler, because he came from nowhere. He was down and out. He wasn't even playing in tournaments. Yeah. And then he really came back for this one. So
yeah, and I picked him. I was like, yeah, I'll give a shot on him. And then I picked a Dane, which shit the bed. But
when you picked Ricky, I was like, dude, I picked him before in a major in one of these pools before you started playing, and he obviously did nothing. But he was in his, you know, in that slump type thing, right? And so when I saw that you picked him, I'm like, oh, Jesse's fucked. and Ricky Fowler pretty much played better than all my fucking guys. So.
I think I finished in the top 10 in that pool. But and we both picked oh no, I know you didn't. You were way down there. But I think we both picked Brooks Koepka, and he
definitely should have been
the first day, and then he came roaring back and he made the cut. Yep. So he actually turned it on at the end, which was good. Good to see he got back into it. But
in that pool, you know, for the listeners and the viewers, like when you miss the cut, it's massive penalties. So even if he shoots like shit the next couple days, he needs to make the cut. Because chances are the penalties or your score is not going to be a +7. Chances are, because that's what the penalty is. That's massive. But anyway, just a little bit of our gambling addictions. Any other disappointments for you guys? I rambled on there for a bit about Tiger, but
for me, I think it's Tiger as well. You just still feel like he's that guy, but he's just not that guy anymore.
He's not. No. I hope that he could come back and I hope he can get healthy. You know, maybe next year. But maybe he should. I don't know. He said he'll never take a cart, so I don't know if it's ever been offered up to him in a pro. Tour event, but
there has been one, but they all fought for that person not to play anymore.
Yeah, but that was John Daly, wasn't it?
No,
I
can't remember Buddy's name. I really don't remember it at all. But I know he had some kind of blood clots kind of thing wrong with his legs, and he wasn't able to walk a long distance.
So they're like, you got a medical issue, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I guess that means Tiger's fucked, right?
Yeah,
For
no.
getting a cart.
Now, I would
he
say
doesn't want to do it either.
I would say Tiger will win. He will win, but it won't be a major. It's not going to be like a championship or anything like that.
The way that it looks, though, he's not going to be playing any regular tournaments. It looks like he's only going to play the majors.
Well,
as of what we've seen.
Most likely will change for sure. I mean, if he's not making coin, I mean, the guy doesn't have to make coin, but he still does it for fun.
He doesn't need to make coin, man.
No, but I mean, it's all about the wins, right? I mean, that's what Tiger's all about. I'm not going to chance to take out or go on this course and not come out on top. So, I mean, that's his mentality.
I remember though, some of these guys make more money. Look at Michael Jordan. The guy's made way more money from Nike than he ever had playing. And I would assume that would be pretty much the same for Tiger Woods. I'll bet you his lifetime earnings at a Nike is way more than his lifetime earnings on the PGA Championship.
Well, wouldn't it have been funny
if Jordan
would have went with Puma instead of Nike? Ooh, eh?
Well, we'd all be wearing Puma fucking shoes then, wouldn't we?
I believe so.
Air Kitties.
Air Kitties.
Well, let's go into our MVP here, guys, on a happy note, because this was pretty sick.
It has to do with golfing too.
This week's Points and Penalties MVP. We're talking the elite company here. We're talking like LeBron James. We're talking Steph Curry, LeBitch. Who else has been some of our big time MVPs?
KD, Cooper Cup,
Vladdy.
Yeah, your boy Poppy.
Yeah. Probably
Poppy
like some older hockey players. Didn't Marlowe get it or something like that?
Probably.
Vladdy's in there.
Big names get into the Points and Penalties MVP.
Not this week.
And this week, another big name joins the ranks. The one and only co-host of the Points and Penalties podcast, Mr. Josh Leverton.
Yeah.
Way to go, bud.
And it's not just a
that's a baseball trophy, but
cross sport athlete.
Yeah.
It's coming the next Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders was. Oh fuck.
Yeah. You got into the box for your work on the golf course.
No, not the box. The MVP.
The MVP. That's what I meant. The MVP box. That's what we called it, right?
Yeah.
So on the par 4 16th hole in our first Points and Penalties golf round of the year, I was feeling real good. Up 2 strokes overall on Josh, who was the only real competition at that point. Sorry, boys.
I mean, all day, really.
Well, at that point.
Okay.
What was it after the first 9? I think it was pretty close.
It was pretty close.
He's just chirping because he won.
Yeah.
So up 2 strokes overall, and I was on the green in 2. On the green on a par 4. Ready to sink the dagger and claim that victory. And the 2 points that come with it. Then there's Josh.
Snatched.
Off in the rough. 50 yards or so out from the hole. Already about to take his 3rd stroke. I'm feeling real good at this point. I'm going to either birdie or par this pretty easily.
You're not going to birdie.
Maybe not birdie. Not birdie.
That's not
You
crazy.
get there par 4, you have to make the green for you to birdie.
I'm gonna par or bogey it relatively easily. And Josh looks well on his way to at least like a bogey or a double here. He's still a long ways out. I'm feeling real good. Walking up, sit back, watch him take his shot, and the impossible happens. Chip, 50 yards out, lands just short on the green, starts to roll towards the hole, going towards the pin, looking good,
What the fuck happened?
and it drops.
No way. Woo!
Put the club up.
The man
Who's going
birdies it.
down?
Big Selly. Big Selly.
For sure. First time I've ever been able to hoot and holler on a fucking golf course.
So a birdie from 50 yards out on a huge chip to make it a game again. Now I can't putt, at least not when we played. Not in general anyway. I was particularly bad this round. But I two putted, so I ended up with a par. Not terrible. Which means Josh came within one overall. Now we both double parred the next par 3. So that was not good.
That's how good we are. Shows that this birdie chip was a
The birdie chip was a big deal.
Weren't you guys both in the sand trap and Josh couldn't escape and Peter?
No.
went
No. We were both.
We were
behind
not
sand
in the
trap.
sand trap, yeah.
Then we both entered the sand trap.
Within about a yard and a half each.
I got out, but launched it over the green and ended up with 6. And Josh just got stuck in the sand. So then it all came down to the final hole, par 5, 18, which I choked pretty bad on. And Josh ended up winning it by 2 strokes
Why did you choke real hard on that, Peter?
because I'm not very good at golf.
No, because I told you, I'm like, just go for the safe thing. You're like,
No.
I can make it over the
I
water.
always-
Get over the water.
I always go big or go home. And there was water in the way and I was going over it no matter what happened.
You didn't go over it.
No, bad things happen. Bad things happen.
And on my second shot on that hole, I needed to go home or go all out or go home. Like I had to. I hit a slice with my my hybrid, but I ended up in an okay spot and then was able to finish it. So had I not gone that route, even with your ball in the water, you might have beat me on that one. So
Yeah. At the end of the day, I still could have putted in to tie you at least. But of course, I
Oh,
couldn't.
yeah, I
putt.
forgot you were terrible.
It's like
that
a-
wasn't even that far of a
It
putt
wasn't
either.
that big of a putt. It was like a 5-footer maybe.
Yeah, at least it wasn't like a 30-foot, there, Jesse.
Yeah.
It-
Fucking
well, honorable mention. For
Stole
sure.
my MVP right from under me.
Yeah, for sure. Jesse
Birdied
had
a
a
par 5 on the front 9.
It was a
That
beauty.
last
On-
hole on the front 9. Yeah.
Yeah, on number 9, you hit it up the left side and just rode the
whole
left
way.
side the entire way. And you came to the green with a big tree in front of you. You said, "I'm gonna shoot left to stay away from the tree." You fucked up and you hit it right over the tree.
No, it was the bunker. It was the bunker.
Oh, sorry, it was the bunker.
It was the
that's right.
bunker. Yeah.
But you hit it right over it, money shot, and rolled. You hit pretty much at the pin, and you rolled your 30 feet, and then you came back on the next shot and you sunk it, and that was the early highlight. And for
Yeesh.
sure, with the slow week in pro sports, you had the early MVP until we hit 6. Was it 16? 16.
16.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a round, boys. I
It
had
was
a
a lot of
blast.
fun.
Like even the chip aside, winning aside, I had a great time just hanging out with you boys, playing for the first time this year. It was, none of us got too pissed off at anything. Like it was a great round. I really enjoyed it. So thank you guys for that. And I'm very humbled to be in the same company as KD and Steph Curry and Austin
I think it was a
Matthews.
slow week. Eh?
It was a slow week. Yeah. By the way, those guys that hit 3 home runs in a game, fuck you, bud. Chip and Bird.
Did anyone else get a birdie on that besides you and me?
No. Pete had a massive opportunity on the same hole, but
Oh yeah, that is right.
Yeah, I think I missed another one at some point during the round too.
actually,
And I'm pretty sure I bogeyed a hole where I was like had
You
a
3 putted.
yeah.
Yeah.
Putting for birdie and ended up with a bogey.
although we'll recap the scores a little later on this.
Yeah, we will.
Kev
Very
didn't
well.
have such a great day, but he did have a great shot on that same hole where he literally wrapped it around a tree that was guarding the green. And I don't know what did it lead to? Like a triple, quadruple bogey? I don't know. No, I'm joking. But hey, it was a hell of a shot, Kev. And I don't want to give everybody else props except for you. So
Gracias, amigo.
Good
It was a pretty
job.
decent shot.
good job, bud.
There you go. So, welcome to the elite company. Our MVP for the week, Josh Leverton.
Yeah. By the way, a points and penalty host can never ever get this again. No, just kidding. You guys.
We'll see. You'll see next time someone's gonna hit it from like 75 yards.
Yeah. Oh, if it's over 50, you're good.
Hole in one.
49 yards though. No.
Hole in one will do it.
That'll never happen. Write it down.
Yeah. Actually,
None of us four.
guy I played ball with, actually, he hit a hole in one. He didn't he hit his ball, just walked up, and he's like, I don't see my fucking ball anywhere. So it was a part three. So he started videoing as he walked up to the hole, and no ball in the green. He walks up right to the fucking cup, and sure enough, it's in there.
Sounds set up.
That's what
feel
I
like
said.
you-
I'm like,
I
oh
feel like
yeah,
you would
yeah.
see it.
Yeah. Your buddy fucking, especially on a par three, right? What do you,
Yeah,
180 yards max?
Max,
Like,
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that sounds
a little fishy.
a little offside. That one sounds.
All right, Kyle, you fucked up. If you're listening, you fucked up.
Yeah, Kyle, whoever you are.
Kyle. All right, guys, let's bounce this motherfucking show into the NBA. What do you guys think?
We should dribble or something.
Dribble it on over. You want to pass it on over to me in the NBA?
Hey, I
Yeah.
just give it a little travel. Give you a little.
You would
little-
fucking travel, you fucking cheater.
I mean, he's just traveling to where he thinks the 3-point line should be.
Oh,
That's fair. That's
Right.
fair. Yeah. All right, guys, let's start in the West. As we know, last time we left you, it was basically we were heading into the NBA Conference Finals. We are currently heading out of the NBA Conference Finals. Golden State played the Dallas Mavericks, Golden State Warriors. That is my choice for these NBA Finals winner. And they beat the fuck out of the Dallas Mavericks. When it comes down to it, they were up 3-0 and go into a Tuesday night game this past week with the aforementioned Mavericks. Luka had a hell of a game. Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson also had games to get the W to go to 3-1. And then Klay Thompson and the Warriors just stuck it to them on Thursday night and ended up pulling out the win to win the series 4-1 to move on to the finals. Like I said, my choice. They're only 4 W's away from me getting 2 motherfucking points. And that's a good thing. I don't know if I get 2 points for just calling them like a year and a half.
No,
ago.
I get
Oh,
you get
No, we've
one.
been over this. It's 1 point.
1 point. We
All
need
right.
to change it, but it's
1
1
point.
point.
All right. But even so, if they win, I will have a good opportunity to put up some points for our brackets, which we'll get into just a second. But Clay took over. I had made some bets, and I thought that Steph was going to be the man that would take over. Basically, Clay's line, I thought that Steph would have. Clay had 32. He was 12 for 25 from the field, and he was 8. It was actually 8 for 16 from 3-point land. And so I thought that was going to be Curry's stat line. I had bet on basically Curry having that stat line, and I lost my money quickly. But it's okay because Golden State ended up pulling out with the win. And, I just like to say that I am so smart, SMRT.
Hey,
Oh,
try doing it a couple times in a row, and then we'll call you smart.
Fair enough. I'm so smart other than Jesse. So Dallas came out of this and into facing Golden State. They came out beating the number 1 team, the Phoenix Suns, and they really had nothing. Now, in my opinion, it looked like as the series went on, it looked like Luka was tired. And Luka he's the man in Dallas, right? Now they Spencer Dinwiddie, they got out of the trade with Kristaps Porzingis, which turned out to be a great trade because Dinwiddie was playing great. Jalen Brunson, who I believe is a second-year player, he was very good as well and helped out a lot. But of course, you know that everything was going to revolve around Luka, and he'd looked tired in the last couple games. Obviously, in the game that Dallas won, he didn't look as tired because he was playing lights out. But the next game there, the final game that Golden State put them away, he definitely looked tired. But did you guys think that Dallas would fare better against Golden State, being that they just beat the number one team in the West? Like, you know, maybe health and endurance aside, you know, should they have faced off better against against Golden State?
Yeah, I thought like we all thought that they were going to lose against the Suns and not even make it there. But once, like, they're a good team, and but especially Luka, like you said, I think he had to be better in this series. Maybe he was tired, whatever, but the team revolves around him, and the team wasn't good enough. And a good chunk of that falls on his shoulders. Obviously, as their best player. But yes, I thought it would be closer than this. Ended up with Golden State just taking the gentleman's sweep.
Yep.
Just letting them have the one win so they can win it at home. That's all there is to it.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought this would be a closer match than what it was. And like you said, Luka looks like he slowed down, wasn't getting as many points as he was beforehand. And that's why the team did so poorly against the Warriors, was because he wasn't putting up those 35 points, because he's been killing it in the playoffs as young as he is. So I don't know. Get that endurance up. Got to continue that shit, or get him some players that can help him bear some of that load.
Yeah, like I said, you did have a couple guys helping him out, but
Not
you know,
enough.
maybe not. Yeah, and maybe not necessarily consistent enough to keep that load off of him, like you said, Jess.
I think Phoenix just, you know, it gassed them. I mean, you guys all saying. I mean, like, it happens in all sports,
Yep.
like hockey, you know. But yeah, I think that there was a hard rough against Phoenix, and I think that's what Golden State took advantage of, because they came off of very stressful games, man. So
That's a good point, Kev. The previous series for sure could have definitely taken a toll when in terms of health and the health and the endurance of the Dallas Mavericks for sure. But so do you think it, like, I mean, I guess you guys said it pretty much revolves around Luka. So had Luka maybe not played so many minutes previous, he plays a couple more against Golden State. Like, I mean, the games weren't super close. You know, you got guys like, you know, let's give San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors, let's give them some credit. Obviously, you have Steph. You know, Clay has been much better as of late. Pete, I know you had said that, or I said that they would be better, Golden State Warriors, with Clay. I was wrong at one point in the season, but now I wonder where we'd be at now if you looked at the stats and how much better they are with Clay being back in. Jordan Poole, the man is a lights out young player. He's second or third year. Great player. We got Andrew Wiggins, who is a local boy here of the GTA.
Maple Jordan.
Maple Jordan, yeah. And I don't know about Jordan, but he's Maple for sure. Maple Wiggins, I'll say. But I really like Andrew Wiggins. He was supposed to be an absolute superstar in this league, supposed to tear it up. He didn't quite do that off the hop, but he is definitely showing promise as the, you know, the now veteran that he is in the NBA, and he seems to be a good addition here to these Golden State Warriors. Now facing off,
he's a first overall pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was supposed to be the next big thing, right? And of course, in Canada here, we had big high hopes because it's Canadian and could potentially be that next big thing. So, but he's definitely found his groove as of late. He definitely, I think he scored like 18 points in the final game to go along with Clay's 32 in that final game, Game 5 against the Mavericks. And so they are going to end up facing the Miami Heat. That is Kev's pick. Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics are tied 3-3, and they will be playing tonight, Sunday. They might be starting. Oh, right now I'm lucky me. I got it right on TV. So it's about to start just shortly. They're about to go jump ball here. Game 7.
Heat.
Go Heat.
The last episode, we all chose the Heat in this.
Yeah,
in
because
this
fuck
series
Boston.
because fuck Boston. Yep. I remember I did say that I have a feeling that Boston's going to end up winning, but I could not choose them. So we're going with Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and the Miami Heat. And like you said, I think we're all there. Tyler Harrell was another guy we mentioned last week. So in game 6, Jimmy Butler stole the show. He scored 47 points. He had 9 boards and 8 assists, almost a triple-double. I mean, not even a double-double, but almost a triple-double in a massive game, scoring those 47 points. And the GOAT, former Toronto Raptor Kyle Lowry, finally showed up in this series, and he scored 18 points and had 10 helpers after scoring just 14 points in the previous 5 games, 2 of which he was injured for, so really only 3 games, but still 3 games scoring 14 points compared to the 1 game at 18 is a lot more like we're used to seeing out of Kyle Lowry. So that was nice. I'm hoping he's got the ball right now. He just dished for not an assist. It was a miss. Talking about Kyle, but I hope, aside from wanting Miami to win here because it's not Boston, I would love to see Kyle get back to the dance. And although I've picked Golden State, man, I would love to see Kyle hoist another one. It's Kyle Lowry. He's the GOAT. Kev, Jess, I don't care what you guys say. He's the fucking GOAT. All right.
Yeah.
And to see him have the one more trophy, like it would just solidify how good of a player he is, even though he is not number 1 on this team. He's the secondary or
he's been poor on this team.
He has.
So far,
he has. He's not been great, but
like again, injuries. He's older, so
Yep.
It all goes around to that, but still, he has to play better if he wants to lift that Larry Bryant trophy.
I think you're going to see him have a fucking hell of a game here tonight, and it's going to turn the corner for him and the Heat. I think it's going to be a real tough shooting series in the finals, especially if it's the Heat and the Warriors, because there's going to be a lot of 3 balls going up, lots of them. But who knows? I don't want to take too much away from Boston. Even though they're Boston, Jason Tatum's been playing great. Marcus Smart's been playing good. There's been multiple other guys, and there's no slouches here for sure. But the game just started. It is 4-0 Boston, so I'll give you a little bit of that. But I know you guys all chose the Heat, but is anybody leaning on Boston tonight?
Nope.
Fuck Boston.
Not one bit.
Fuck Boston. So we're all the same.
Although they're really good. McDiesel's team win, but fuck Boston.
Yeah. Definitely. Fuck Boston. We don't like that shit. Definitely not. All right, and then the only other piece of sort of NBA news that I have, because basically everything revolves around the playoffs when it happens. But the only other thing is that the Lakers, those shitty geriatrics that we always talk about, they have hired former Bucks assistant Darvin Ham as their new head coach. Now, Jess, you're probably must be a real lover of Darvin Ham because you're a Bucks fan, and you kept saying Bucks as he throws up his arms like, I don't fucking know this guy.
So I'm just glad that there's not Nick Nurse over there. That's all I'm happy about. That's who they're
that.
in for.
I hear that, man.
Yeah, you could have said Fred Magoo, and Jesse would have said,
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Masai put the Nick Nurse things to bed, saying that he isn't going anywhere, and that probably pushed the Lakers off of him. But so I don't know much about this guy. I'm not into researching coaches because that's boring. And so my understanding is that this guy, you're not going to have a bitch team when this guy is your coach. He's a tough coach, and he likes to play tough, and he needs his players to be tough. Now, this is the geriatrics we're talking about. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work out. Like LeBron can play tough, but LeBitch can be a bitch. So, and there's, again, there's all these guys can play tough in Westbrook, in Anthony Davis, but they can all be little bitches too. Right. So I'm not sure how this is actually going to work out. Now they have a good number of guys coming back from this past season in obviously LeBitch, you have Westbrook, you have Anthony Davis. Those are the big three. You have Talon Horton Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, former Raptor Stanley Johnson, and Austin Reeves. Now, obviously, the last three there are not, big names. Talon Horton Tucker is kind of a rising star, if you will. With all these guys coming back, pretty much the same team as last year, and look how they did. Do you guys think the Lakers in 2023 are going to be a force, or are they going to be a play-in team at best next year?
I mean, injuries played a significant role in where they ended up this year.
Will that change
But
this year?
there's no reason to say that wouldn't happen next year. So
Right.
if they're completely healthy the whole time, maybe they get a locked in seed. They don't have to go into the play-in tournament, but I don't see them finishing like top 4.
Right. And so that was my next question, is if you do think they're going to make it past the play-in, would it be into that top end spot? And
No.
I see exactly where they went this year. They're gonna do shit. They're gonna be shit.
Not make the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. It's tough to argue with that team that they don't make the playoffs. Like, yeah, they were bad. Vogel was definitely one of the reasons why they were so bad. Injuries were a bigger reason.
Because they're old, man.
Right.
If you think they're gonna do it now, with the same kind of team that's there, didn't work once, man. It's not gonna do it again.
I get what you're saying. You want to definitely change it up. You don't want to go rolling with the exact same thing. And I think that's what they're going to try and do. Maybe rotate some younger guys in there so that these geriatrics aren't on the floor as long as they are.
that's a big thing for sure.
Right. Because they're still good. They just got to be able to not grab crutches after the game.
For me, the biggest one is Anthony Davis. This man,
For sure.
He's not even that old, and he is a walking
Bandit.
glass.
League.
Yeah, like you touch him and he breaks. And he's a huge man. Like we know from experience as Raptor fans what it's like to not have a big guy down low, and he just he's a monster when he's healthy and he's down there, but it's tough when he's not, and you're expecting him to be there. And they got a shit ton of money tied up in him, right? So
yeah, they gotta work some load management miracles to make
Yeah.
sure he doesn't get
Yeah.
hurt.
I think they need to go fucking Kawhi style on all three of those guys, LeBitch, Westbrook, and AD. Maybe not so much Westbrook. I think
I was gonna say Westbrook can actually still play,
but I think LeBron needs to play. He needs to let himself realize that he's probably still the best player on the team, but the game needs to run through Westbrook. But he can't figure that out.
I don't know, man. It's difficult because Westbrook really hasn't done anything. The game has always ran through him.
I understand that he was Mr. Triple Double and he went to Lakers and did shit. I get it.
It's too many chefs in the kitchen, man.
Yeah.
It could be, but it also could be they need a coach, and he's an assistant. He's a tough coach, but at the same time, these guys are superstars, and typically in the NBA,
these guys are old enough that they should be their own coach, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say the coach didn't really change. LeBron's the coach.
Yeah,
right. But even though LeBron is the coach, you need an actual coach to put him in line. And they went and got someone that, like you said, I haven't researched him. I don't know who he is, but he comes from a pretty good organization in the Bucks. But he still has superstars surrounding him, and he's got to tell them, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
which is going to be tough.
Now, Giannis said, obviously this guy was his assistant coach. Darvin Ham was Giannis's, and Giannis said he's a no bullshit guy. He doesn't take bullshit, and he will let you know. And he's a kind of straight up hard ass. And he's a tough coach. And to me, that's kind of, even with LeBron, that's kind of what they need. you know, like, no, fuck you. You're doing it this way because that I'm the coach and this is the way that we're running this particular play, this particular possession, or this particular practice, or what have you. And maybe they need, because there's so many big heads and you know, larger egos on that team. Maybe that's what they need. So
I mean, you're right. They do need that, but again, it's LeBron, Westbrook, AD. Like, will they listen to him, or they'll tell him shut the fuck up?
yeah, I have a feeling like I think AD falls into line. I don't think he's the main issue when it comes to egos and pushback, especially because he's hurt all the fucking time. So what does he have to say? Like, oh shit, I'm gonna play one game, I'm gonna hurt myself, so no big deal. But the other guys, like, you know, definitely LeBron wants it his way or the highway type thing, as we've seen, you know, in the last couple of years of the ins and outs of the players and coaches in LA. And even Jeannie Buss there, the owner, she is not a happy camper. She's like, this, we spend a lot of money and we're not making the playoffs. Like, this is, you know, basically she's like, this bullshit. Yeah. And so I think she's going to be pressuring the upper brass to make moves to get things right. Now, might not be this year because they might be tied up salary cap wise and so on and so forth, but only, I believe, out of the big three, 2 of the contracts are up this coming year, 2023, or after 2023, and then the next one of them which might be AD, I think, is 2025.
Well, so do you think they go into the start of the year with the big three intact, or do they try and make a move there?
I feel like they just roll.
You're not going to get anywhere.
I can't disagree with you, Kev. I really can't. I mean,
I'm on Peter's side where they won't be top 4, but I think they'll probably be in the play-in tournament. It'll be tough for them to not be in the play-in tournament, I think.
I'm thinking play-in or maybe, you know, I'm thinking play-in for sure. And it's definitely going to be tough, but they need help. They need help. Yeah. Even if each guy gets hurt a little bit, you know, here and there, as long as we don't see a major injury out of these guys, I think we're going to be okay. And you never really see a major injury out of LeBron or Westbrook. It's the AD. And I feel like if you can keep Anthony Davis in that lineup, it's going to open up that much more for LeBitch and Westbrook to do their thing.
I still think they won't. They're not going to make it. They're not going to make play. They're not going to make it at all. Hey, not no play in. Not no.
I don't have a problem with laughing at the Lakers, man. I don't have a problem with it at all. So that's kind of where I'm coming from on this one. You know, I really don't think this, although it might toughen them up just a little bit, this new hire, I just don't think it's going to do too much. And I think that they're going to, in order to really win, I think they got to blow it up and wash their hands of at least one of these guys named LeBitch. He just takes too much control, in my opinion. He thinks he knows what he's doing from a management standpoint. He obviously knows what he's doing from a basketball standpoint, playing, and I would even say coaching. But you know, it was a mistake to bring in Westbrook. 100%. AD, I'm fine with. They did okay. He obviously has injuries and whatnot, but bringing in Westbrook was not a good idea, and he fucked that one up. Now, talking about fucking up, our points and penalties fucking bracket here for the NBA. Let's start at the bottom.
Can we not?
Let's do it. Let's start there. Petey, my boy, you got 6 correct with 0 possible. And I'm sorry to say for you, brother, that gives you a -1. It doesn't calculate today.
I'm locked in.
But you're locked in at a -1.
Oh, man.
No, Jess, you know, I love you, man, but I love to also see you get 0 or minus points. I wish you would have got a minus here, but you got 7 correct.
That was well for Peter. And yeah. The Bucks fell apart, and for some reason, I went with Memphis because I was all about Ja. And I was on your same thing for the Warriors. It was like I could see them in the finals for sure. But I just want to go with Ja.
You done fucked up.
I leaned too heavily into the clip, way too heavy.
You kept going into it like right before the playoffs.
I was trying to stick to my gun. It was bad choice.
You fucked up.
I done fucked up.
You're done
Done
fucked
fucked
up.
up.
So Jess, you had 7 correct. You have 0 possible left, which gives you the 0 points.
Wah, wah.
And we have a tie for first, and only these 2 players. I mean, there's only 2 other contestants here that we haven't talked about can get either 2 or 1 point. Both of them can use the positive points. We have myself or Kevin. I currently have 8 correct with 1 possible left. That is the Golden State Warriors. Kevin, you have 8 correct with a possible 2 left to be correct. And those are this game that we're currently watching, which Miami is down 22-9. They need to win that one. And then your next one will be Miami to win the whole thing. Basically, as long as Miami doesn't get through
If they
tonight,
lose, I get a plus. Hey, man.
you'll get a plus. Well, it depends. We could tie. We could tie. Right? If Miami loses, but then Boston wins the championship, you and I tie at 8.
Ooh.
So we both get 2, and that would be nice.
Right.
Oh, let's go, Kev. We need you to make sure he only gets
Come
one.
on, Kev. We believe in you.
So that's where we're at with the NBA brackets here on points and penalties. It's going down to the wire here for me and Kev. And Pete, as I'm looking at this, your 6 was 0 possible minus 1. I'm reminded of the NCAA tournament. Didn't you also come up with a -1 in that tournament?
I will remind you, while you are correct,
Okay, yep.
that
Go ahead. Remind.
I picked almost equally as well as I had the year prior, which was good for second.
Hmm.
It's just everyone else got a lot better.
So everybody got better, and you should have.
Everyone figured
you
they
stayed
should
equal.
except for you.
I figured, good for second. I'm just gonna coast. I'm not gonna.
No.
Bad choice.
So basically, basketball is not your strong suit.
It is
There's
not.
hockey.
But hockey isn't either. That's what I was going to say. Jesse, beat me to the punch. All right, guys. That's all I got to say about the NBA. Does anybody else have anything to say?
Go Heat.
Go Heat. Fuck you, Kev. Go fucking Warriors. San
Go
Francisco.
No, go Heat.
Go Heat.
Oh, wow. You guys are all in the East, eh?
At least tonight.
Well, yeah. Tonight. Wait, no, because then Kev will have 9. No.
Wait,
Oh, so if the Heat win, Kev has
Don't-
9 points.
don't say it.
And then if Golden State wins, then we'd be tied again, Kev. So we have
Yeah.
2 ways to be tied. Huh.
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 Huh. Interesting. I'm kind of cheering for Boston now, actually.
Whoa.
I want the 2 points, boys.
Oh, the points are worth.
want
Are not worth
points.
that much,
I
Josh.
want the 2
Don't
points.
sell your soul.
For Boston.
You've already chose the Heat. You can't.
I
do
know.
that.
All right. I'm fair with that.
Sorry.
All right. Thanks for not making me an idiot. All right. There is another Boston team that we fucking hate. There's also a New York team that we hate.
Fucking
There's a
Red
Tampa
Sox.
Bay
Fuck
team
you,
that we hate.
Yankees. Fucking
And
Rays.
I mean, we might not hate the Baltimore team because they fucking suck. But what's going on in the MLB,
They're
Jess?
there.
They're there.
I mean, yeah, we're in the MLB. It's been kind of a sad season so far for the Jays. They have not gotten up to standards that or the lofty standards that we have put in front of them, nor every other
expert.
expert or news
Expert is the
outlet.
word you're looking for. Expert.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Like us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we all thought they were going to do really, really good, but that has not been the case here, and
Really?
May has not been much better for us. The Jays are 3rd in the AL East. They won today. And they put up a big offensive output, 11-10, against the Angels, and I believe we swept them. Can't remember, but I believe we swept them. And
Fuck challenge. No, we didn't. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no fucking idea. I have
Damn it,
no
Josh.
idea.
you the only reason is because I'm first and you're number 2, and you got to make up ground. That's the only reason.
Hey, we got to do something, man. We had
The
no
reasons
challenges.
don't matter.
We had
All
no
right.
challenges so far, but
Shit.
let's check this out.
Well, I'll continue. Someone else get this nonsense. So before today, they were 26-20. They are now 27-20 with the
Yeah, they
W.
swept them.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Fuck! I thought they lost like 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
That's a big sweep too, because I
Yeah,
just
it's
saw
a
that I didn't know
4-game
what they
sweep,
did
yeah.
yesterday. I knew that they won the first two, and I was like, nice, that's what we needed against the Angels, because they're a good team. They're a pretty good team, and that's a big +1 for me, which I need. So I guess they're 5.5 games back now. Could change. I don't know when the Yankees play. I didn't check that out. But this month they were 12 and
Already
12.
won. So what you have is probably good. They've already won. The
Okay.
Yanks.
So it's 5.5 games, then I would assume.
That's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay. So this month they went, well, there's still one more game, I think, that they play this month. So they're 13 and 12, which is a winning record, which we need, but they need to get way more for.
Yeah, we need a lot more than just
Yeah.
a winning record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we said, 5.5 back in the East, and the Yanks are tearing it up. And a lot of it's behind Aaron Judge, which we talked about before. He's leading in the home runs. He is looking for that.
He's gonna get paid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it could still be by the Yankees.
Yep.
They'd be like, no, we don't want you to go anywhere. But this is why he betted on himself, and right now
It is
he's
paid.
looking like a genius.
Yeah,
Like
he's
just a
definitely getting
genius.
paid for sure.
Yeah. So again, we're talking about the AL East. They have not been that great against them. They're 9 and 10. Most of that is beating Boston a lot and then losing to the Yankees and Tampa. So they need to get their shit together. These are good teams. They need to beat them. And Boston's starting to get hot now. Their offense is rolling. So Boston's not going to be an easy out, I don't think, anymore. And then the main culprit for the Jays' woes is their offense.
Yep.
They are 22nd in runs, and they got a -1 run differential. Like the good thing is that they're winning close games a lot, but they aren't beating the snot out of people like last year. Like they had a huge win differential last year. They had a huge plus because all they were doing were hitting home runs, scoring RBIs all the time. And for a team as good as what we had predicted, and as we said, the experts, they should be doing a lot better. So they're in 14th in hits. This is up to date. I just checked it right now. Make sure that no one else challenged me. But they are 14th in hits, which is middle of the pack. That's not where they need to be. They need to be up way higher for that offense. 12th in home runs. They were worse before today because they had a huge output. 18th in walks and 26th in steals, which we kind of figured that would be where they would be at, but they've been caught a lot. They're 5th most in getting caught stealing. So either stop trying to steal or and hope to God
Run faster.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but just stop stealing. And our OPS, which is the walk and slugging percentage, is 16th, which they were like dominant last year, and they need to get that back up there. And my question to you guys is, how confident are you guys going forward for the Jays?
I still have a lot of faith in them. Like we've seen them do it before last year. We know they can do it. They're just, for whatever reason, they're slow right now. And like you said, we had lofty expectations for them, and those weren't unfounded. The talent is there on this team. They just need to put it together and get it done. So I believe in them. I think they're going to turn this around and for sure make the playoffs, and then see what else.
I think when you see them having fun is where you see these games that they win. I mean, like big series wins. When they were losing a bit, you notice they weren't having fun. Vladdy smashing bats over his knee. You know, like I'll blame it on the fucking umpires then. I mean, their inconsistency. I mean, they're wasn't playing as well as they should have because of umps. But like, again, man, if they're having fun, that I've noticed when I'm watching them, they're doing well. So if they just keep on having fun while you're going to the ball game, we'll do some good wins.
Well, but losing is no fun. Like, is it that they're having fun and that's leading to them winning, or is it the other way around? They're winning.
I think
and they're having fun?
I think when they're having fun, they're winning. Right? Their spirits are up. But if you find one of your better players smashing bats over his knee, I mean, that's a kind of a confidence, not a confidence booster. It's like, well, fuck, fuck. And then when you get to that attitude, you're swinging that shit.
You're not wrong. It could be poor for the team morale when that should happen, when your superstar player does that. But Vladdy's been still pretty solid. Like the underlying numbers is he's still hitting the ball hard. He's grounding. He has a lot of ground balls this year compared to last year. He was lifting the ball a little bit more, and that's why we saw some home runs. And that's not the case right now. So I think that's going to change. I really do. But it's not just him that's part of this team. Like there's a lot of people. Like Springer's been ripping it up. He's been awesome this year. And I know Yoshi are a huge fan of him, and he's been what exactly the team needs.
Do you remember my hot take about him earlier? He was going to be better than Vlad. I said that he would be better than Vlad this year.
I think we would have remembered that.
Oh yeah, you look back, man. 100%. I said that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I think you would have been made fun of a lot more.
You guys made fun of me. You're like, no fucking way. And I said he's gonna be better. You watch. I don't want to have to listen to fucking hours and hours and hours of podcasts, but I'll do it just to fucking prove you guys wrong.
Well, like I said, Vladdy isn't doing that bad. He's still doing pretty good. He's hitting too many ground balls. His hard hit rate is still huge. Like he is smoking this ball. His average exit velocity is still up there as any superstar there is. So I definitely see him. You're going to see some more home runs soon. The weather's warming up, so it should be easier to hit those home runs. And Springer's always been a superstar. It was with the asterisks, but the other guys that I think are huge issues is like Bo's been pretty good, but not nearly as superstar as he's been last year. But Teo, and I know I bitched at him last year, and then he threw it right in my face, so I'm gonna bitch at him again. He's a piece of shit. He's garbage right now. I get he's hurt, and he's not a piece of shit. I'm getting angry about that. I'm just trying to throw shade at him to just start hitting the way he was last year when he did. But he's striking out too much. It could be still a lot of issues with the oblique that is happening, and hopefully he gets his stuff together and he can be on the same board as Springer and Vladdy. And Bichette is like, he's middling, but we know he can do better.
So for me, I'm on the same page as you, Pete, saying that they will come around. There is way too much talent on this team to continue this mediocrity from an offensive standpoint. As I said, I definitely remember saying that George is going to have a better season than Vlad. I even bet on him to win the MVP this year. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but I still think that he's going to end up having a better season than Vlad. That's no shake at Vlad because he's a great player. But in terms of talking about Bull, he was hot garbage for the first 2 months of the season. He has 2 months, but okay. Well, he has as of late, within the last 2 weeks, he's really kind of lit it up, and he has been quite good offensively. And I feel like that is more like Bo's capabilities. Teoscar again was hurt, and he is still trying to get his shit back together. Guys that for me that haven't done anything all season is Lourdes Gurriel. He was all right at the beginning of the season and then dropped off, and he needs to get better offensively. I will say that there is a lot of shifting, and not necessarily shifting left to right based on the batter, but I mean shifting in and out of who's playing in the outfield. There's a lot of guys out there right now between Tapia, between Zimmer, Teoscar, George, Gurriel. There's lots of guys playing out there, and it's a little bit more difficult to get into rhythm when you're playing not necessarily every day, or you're maybe playing a different position or so on and so forth. So you can maybe give a bit of a benefit of the doubt there, but he's a better ball player than he has led on to be this year. So Gurriel for me is another guy that needs to get his shit together. But I'm confident. I'm fine with the way they're playing. The pitching hasn't been horrible. Jose
Pitching's been
Barrios,
great.
right? Jose Barrios, as we had talked about after the first game, he shit the bed, but I don't think any of us were worried about him going forward. Gossman has been lights fucking out.
Yeah, he's been better than Robbie Ray.
Yep. Manoah has been equally as fucking good.
He's been better than Gosman.
So right there, we're good. Now the back end in Kikuchi has been serviceable. Ryu has been a little less than serviceable, plus some injury time. And then of course in that injury time, there's some fillers, so you can't really fault those guys too much. I think this team is way better than what we see here especially in these offensive stats, Jess, that you've put up here and that you talked about. And I think that they going forward, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. They're going to come around. They're going to play well. Will they catch the Yankees? We all called them to win the division, I'm pretty sure. Will they catch them? I don't know. They're a good chunk behind. But all it takes is, and the Yankees are kind of going through it right now. They were on a real roll and they got some injuries. They got a little, suspension for being a racist prick, ex Toronto Blue Jay there, Donaldson.
Well,
so
he really, Buddy even called himself, he was the Jackie Robinson, the next Jackie Robinson. And then Donaldson said it to him several times that Jackie, he didn't do anything then. Why is it such a big thing now?
No, I'm with you, Kev. I didn't think it was that. I didn't think that was a racist thing.
I get what you're saying, but we're also all white, so we can't really say anything. But you also have Aaron Judge there coming to Tim Anderson's aid, saying like he wanted JD to shut up. So it is what it is. I believe he got suspended for that. So
yeah,
it's a weird parallel, and like the thing too is Tim Anderson talks a lot of shit too. There's no doubt in my mind that I know that he talks a lot of smack, and JD does as well. So it's just I think we just got to move past it. Like it obviously affects them, and he doesn't want to be said, so don't say it.
We can move past it as long as it's not reoccurring.
But that's what the problem was. It has been reoccurring. He continues to say it after Anderson had said, "Stop calling me that."
But so this is one instance. I'm saying if it happens in another month and he says something racially motivated towards somebody else, then there's a fucking real issue, right? Obviously one time is too much. Now I will give you the benefit of the doubt. If Tim Anderson was calling himself Jackie and saying that I'm the next Jackie Robinson, then I get it. I get where JD's coming from. He's like, all right, Jackie, come on, man. You think you're a superstar? It's like you calling yourself Gretzky or whatever, right? I get that, or Michael Jordan. I understand that. And I get where JD is chirping him. And then of course there is that added racial instance. So as long as it doesn't come where down, another month or down the road, that JD says something else that becomes racial, then I think we can write it off as something that was harmless and wasn't necessarily racially motivated. But if it happens again, then there's a bigger issue here. And obviously, the in-depth team here at Points and Penalties would dive into that quite in depth. But until that happens, we'll just grace the surface of it.
Let it slide.
All righty, boys. So I have obviously given a few people out. Josh has given a few people out who he thinks that we blame for this poor start. Peter and Kev, do you have any other people that you think besides the ones we've noted?
I still think the very top of the lineup needs to be better too. Like I expect more from Vlad, even though, like you said, he's been making good contact. But he should be right in the AL MVP race. And I don't think right now he's not.
No, you're right.
Neither is Shohei though. So
yeah.
Well, okay. So I also want to say I looked it up. So the stats between George Springer and Vladdy right now. So Springer has 44 hits, and Vladdy has 42. And Vladdy has 4 more at bats, so that's pretty good. So he's a better average, actually a pretty much better average at 273 for Springer, and Vladdy is 256. Home runs are tied. RBI is Springer, which you also have to give it to him too because he's leading off for us. It's tougher to get RBIs. He has 26 and Vladdy is 24. So right now, what I've seen, the only thing that Springer does, which sucks compared to Vladdy, is he strikes out a lot more and doesn't walk.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Like Vladdy's is a big time hitter. So is Springer. Don't get me wrong, but Vladdy has a bunch more walks. He's got a better eye at the plate than Springer, and Springer also has more triples and doubles. So he has been better. 100%. He has been better. Does it finish that way? I doubt it.
We'll see.
I really doubt it.
Actually, just to give George a shout out, he is now within the last 2 weeks, one of the home runs he hit pushed him up into number 4 all-time home run leader as a leadoff hitter.
Oh yeah, I did read about that. Yeah,
that's pretty intense, man. That's pretty.
It's impressive.
Convenient you brought that up after we named you the MVP. Convenient.
Pete, when your head is this big, you can do whatever you want, man. No, seriously though, I did say that George is going to be better than Vlad. Like seriously, I'm gonna have to listen to like fucking 30 hours of fucking tape.
You're saying it now too. It's fine. I think everyone here disagrees with you.
I still think he's going to be better by the end of the year.
Well, I would hope so. He's winning in every other category.
Like I said, like if I have to listen to 30 hours of podcast, I'll fucking do it. I wish we had like lackeys that could do that. Look it up, and
we don't have following.
We don't have lackeys
yet. We never will.
I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while. I don't know if we're gonna get lackeys, man. Well, kind of tying in with the last baseball segment, we're gonna a little bit more with baseball here in our penalty box. We're gonna throw Cincinnati Reds outfielder Tommy Pham in the box. Now, just recently this week, he got into an altercation with San Francisco Giants outfielder Jock Pedersen. The altercation was, he slapped a bitch. That's what he did.
No. He Will Smith them.
Oh. And Yosh, it's Jock Pedersen.
You know what, man? For me, it's Jock. All right.
It's pronounced Yuck.
Well,
he calls him Jock while he's eating his jalapeno chips, and he has a fucking good time. All right.
That's right. Exactly. Don't fucking chirp my jalapenos, man. All right. It doesn't matter. Jock, whatever.
JOC.
Yeah, JOC. So in this random altercation, Pham smacks Jock Peterson, whatever.
JOC.
He smacks him over fantasy football, which is interesting. Tommy Pham ended up being fined. He was suspended for 3 games, which was retroactive to Friday night. So he'll be playing likely Monday, maybe Tuesday, I guess. So basically, while the Giants warmed up in the outfield before Friday's series opener against the Reds, Tommy Pham confronted Jock and smacked him in the face before the two were separated. Tommy Pham said that there was some, quote unquote, sketchy stuff going on with their fantasy league. Now, this is a fantasy football league. Pedersen apparently also made disrespectful comments about Pham's former team, the San Diego Padres, which obviously isn't good chirping another team. It's one thing to just say it, but maybe if it was in text or whatever, it's not good because there's a paper trail type thing or digital trail. But anyway, there was a bunch of money on the line in this fantasy football game, and I can respect that. Fantasy football, they're like the pioneers of fantasy games, and I can expect there being some money on the line. Being a back-to-back fantasy football champion, I understand that. Anyway, so money on the line, of course, the $60 that we pay is a whole lot different from like 60 grand that these guys might pay to play fantasy football. So I can understand where you might get upset if a player or a fantasy manager like Yuck might not have played their top end lineup so that somebody else could potentially get past them to face Tommy Pham maybe in the final or what have you. We obviously don't have all the details, but basically there was some sketchy stuff going on. As Pham said, they had a bunch of money on the line, and Pham looked at it as like there's a code to fantasy football and to fantasy games to still play with respect and to put out a full team at all times, a team that's going to give you as many points as you think you can get. And Pham ended up saying, Yuck or Jock or JOC was messing with his money. And when it comes down to it, this is all cash related. And Tommy Pham just wasn't happy about the way Yuck ran his fantasy football team. And Yuck acknowledged that there was a lot of money involved and that Tommy Pham was telling the truth. But no matter what, if you're going to get suspended anyway, like number one for me, punch the motherfucker. Don't just slap him. But like, this is going to happen. You're going to get suspended. You're going to get fined. You're in the MLB. You're a pro athlete. Just keep it in check, man. There's no need to smack this guy around.
No violence.
Or Yosh was just saying, like, yeah, don't slap him, punch him. Like, this guy's like, you're inciting violence, yo.
So?
It's fantasy football. Suck it up.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if you're gonna smack them and you're still gonna get 3 games, you might as well punch them and make the 3 games worthwhile.
Worth it.
Right?
Or just don't get suspended over fantasy football.
Yeah, don't get too
I mean,
upset.
that's the better choice, but
What a baby. I mean, at this point too, like if he put up a shit lineup, that's on the commissioner. That's him to deal with. There's always a commissioner in every fantasy league. So like
it's fair.
For him to get upset about the guy, that's not on him. It's on the commissioner at that point.
And for a year long, come on, man. It's been a
Right.
year.
Like apparently it was a year long. So I don't know if it was just last year's or if it was the previous year's fantasy football championship. So
Who knows? Maybe he was busy winning the MLB title, right? He won it with the Braves, so he was like, "Bitch, I'm busy. Dude, you're in the off season."
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. No, it wouldn't. No, because they wouldn't have been playing in fucking February, right? Baseball was not in February.
Well, maybe he was still celebrating that.
I'm drunk as fuck. I won.
You know what, Yosh? Fantasy doesn't go to February. Fantasy football, at least.
This is true. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Should challenge me there, bud.
Coulda.
Coulda. Speaking of challenges, I know I fucking lost one. I was saved you and Kev, you and Pete from getting a fucking minus because you guys are bitches.
I would rather a minus across the board than to give Jesse more points.
I would have actually too. After I fucking said it, I'm like, fuck, I could have all got a minus. We would have been all right. But anyway, why don't you recap us, Pete, on our one challenge that I lost and the one thing that I didn't lose this week.
Yeah, like next time, just challenge Kev when he says he's drinking beer and be like, challenge. Oh, you are drinking beer? Okay. At least Jesse's not getting the end.
Fair enough.
So, like you said, Jesse said the Jays swept the Angels. Josh said no, they didn't. Josh was wrong. 4 games, 4 victories. Let's go Blue Jays.
Okay.
I need that point.
Let's play
Play
ball.
ball. We have a diamond We have a 9-man.
Okay,
We
that's
have a hat,
that's
a
enough.
bat. Oh, that's
Keep
not
going,
all.
Kev.
What do
What
you
else
want?
we got? Let's play
play
ball.
Okay.
Blue Jays.
You can tell who the most wasted people are here.
What? Who?
What?
Who's drunk?
So speaking of which, the winner of our first round golf round of the year, and the winner of 2 points.
You know, I should get extra points for being the motherfucking MVP.
Nah,
Nah.
Not a chance.
No.
Come
Not a
on. Man.
chance.
good
No.
effort, but no.
No.
Should get 1 extra point.
We could have gave it to Jock Peterson for his hat trick with home runs.
Hey, he was already part of the penalty box, man.
So we could have made it all tie together
No.
Yeah,
and just
Could've.
eliminated you completely.
No.
I think that should have been how it should have.
Hey, you guys
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up. You're the one that chose the fucking MVP.
Maybe and we'll never do it again.
I think I said Spezza for being a fucking retiree.
Retiring.
Yeah. Thanks, bud.
So Josh gets the +2 for the golf round. Peter should have came first, but came second.
Fucked up. Put it in the water, bud.
Yeah, I was only 1 stroke behind you, bud.
Done fucked up.
Done fucked up.
Ended up +1. Jesse came up third, only 1 stroke behind, because me and Josh choked hard on the last 2 holes. But that's okay. You end up 1 stroke behind. You didn't. That's fair. Still third place.
Hey, Kev, who gets the -1 in golf?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Remember all that shit talking over the winter
Oh,
time
yeah.
we had to hear about
Yeah.
constantly?
I don't remember.
Just you relax, because it's still happening.
So I don't remember Josh ever saying anything about Springer being better than Vlad. But I do remember Kev saying that Jesse will never beat him in a round of golf when the 4 of us are playing.
Yep, I remember that too.
Oh, I clearly remember that.
Of course we all do.
Sorry, Kev.
Okay.
So that brings our season totals. Jesse climbs up 1 to +5. Josh climbs up 1 to -2.
Should have kept my mouth shut today, so I climbed up 2.
Peter climbs up 1
Oh,
to
you're tied for
-2.
second
It's
now.
still tied, I know.
And Yosh drops down to -7. We're
Whoa,
tied
whoa,
for now.
whoa. Challenge. I don't go down to -7, you fuck.
No, Kev does. Did I
You
say
just said Yosh
Yosh.
goes down
No.
to -7. Challenge, you're wrong. -100 for you.
challenge period is over?
Yeah, I know. I know it is, but fuck off. I didn't get down to -7.
Sorry.
Come on.
Kev drops to -7. And Yosh, to make you feel better, as soon as our bracket scores start to hit these books, we're not going to be tied anymore.
I know.
I know
I
too.
know. That's pretty much next week, really.
Once the Heat
next
wins,
A couple weeks.
Yeah, a
Weeks.
week, maybe 2, yeah.
once the Heat wins,
Maybe next episode. It depends on how diligent we are on doing shows.
and
Yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
State loses,
They ain't losing,
I'll
but
grab. Yeah, they will.
they ain't losing.
Go Heat.
Go Heat.
They ain't losing.
The heat is on.
So that's it. Jesse's still way out in front, and we got to do something about that.
You know?
Yeah, you guys gotta get the fucking pluses.
Fuck, you're 7 strokes ahead of us. Holy Christ. We need to go
Yeah.
golfing more.
We need a 50-yard birdie here, all of us.
Fuck.
So that brings us down to how our drinks were.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Why don't we lead it off with Kev?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh, I
I thought
have-
we usually start with the bitch.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh.
Do we? I didn't actually notice that pattern. Is that true?
No, it's
It
just-
is now.
Huh.
Huh.
so gullible.
So Pete, you little bitch, why don't you just start
Yeah,
us
Pete.
up?
Yeah, Pete.
Well,
you're asking me for-
Since you've asked, my blood moon from Whitewater Brewing Company out of the Ottawa Valley, Ontario. Blood orange sour, 4.8% strong. No, I'm just kidding, it's not strong, but it was nice and sour. Went down pretty smooth. Definitely have the tarty aftertaste for sure, but it was good. Nice for a nice warm sunny Sunday.
Sunday.
Kev, We're not going to see monster trucks, but but how was your beer on this Sunday?
Well, it is a collective arts. It's called Jam Up the Mash. It is a 5.2%. It is a dry hop sour. Yeah, the first couple sips, I was puckering my lips, but it's all good now.
What?
No. Puckering
You're
your lips.
kissing your beer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still a little tangy. Look good.
You're not done it yet?
It's my second one, bro.
You're not
Yeah,
done
you're
it
not
yet?
done it yet?
No, not yet.
Oh,
No, I have
fuck.
not.
Wow.
Huh.
What a baby.
Huh. So, Josh, how was yours, bro?
Well, you guys know how mine was. I had the old bone shaker from Amsterdam Brewery. Solid beer. Unfiltered India Pale Ale at 7.1%. We all love this stuff. Everybody's had this. It's good stuff. When I went to the Lickbo, they had a plethora of beers, but not too many above the old 5.5%. So it was tough. And that's why I had to go with the old repeat just to
Well, at least someone came to play. That's all.
at least I beat 50% of the fields, right? So I thought it was pretty good. I do have a stronger one in the fridge, so maybe you guys watch out for next week. Maybe not. Maybe I'll switch it up. Who knows? But obviously the bone sugar is good stuff. But Jess, you're the beer champ today. You're in a really, really dark room currently. It seems like the room got darker as the night went on.
Well, I forgot to turn the light on because it was super light in here. And then I realized, I'm like, you probably can't see my beer now.
Or your
Well,
face.
The beer is one thing that definitely wasn't light, though. Tell us about it.
No, it was not. It was 8%, and it was an New England double IPA at 8%. Take the cake. And it was Collective Arts. And yeah, this is the one that has the squid on it. There we go.
Oh, shit. First one had like a unicorn bird.
I don't know.
It was a fucking unicorn.
It was weird. I didn't understand that picture, but I understand that. And it was good. I always go with Collective Arts. Has always got good stuff.
Yeah, man. For sure. All right, guys. I guess it's that time of the evening to wind this down. Let our listeners, wind up their listening of our Points and Penalties episode 18. I know they love it. They love listening to our soothing voices. Some people tell me they fall asleep while listening to us, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it does just say that we have a
Only during the NHL segment, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, Jess. Only during the NHL. So, from all of us here, including the MVP, we'd like to thank you all for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. On YouTube, it's in this right-hand corner here. I know you can click that shit. Everywhere else on Spotify, good stuff. It's somewhere on there. Just click subscribe. You can do it. Give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. And until next week, boys,
Stay out of the penalty box.